Tell him, old boy, because if you get jazzy, I'll jump across this table. I still got it in me now. Hold your peace, Jake.
What we do?
But anyway, so
Ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so cursed up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it. I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh, my nigga, I'm not a lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it.
And so as I was journeying closer in a spiritual perspective for my life, I decided that I could have more of an impact and do more dealing with the young people. And then, I mean, you know, my ex, and which I'm hoping, well, I'm going to do it.
How about this?
I'm going to give Spike Moss, do you know who Spike Moss is?
I don't. But let me pause you. Let's
Okay.
intro and let's get into it.
Okay.
Okay. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm your host, Jake Faircloth, a.k.a. Podcast Poppy. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1. Make sure you're following us everywhere at Live on Lake Street. We got a special guest in the building today. And yeah, I'm going to say it again for all you haters out there, a legend. We got Mama Shy in the building. They be on me about that. He calls everybody a legend. No, I don't. No,
Well,
I don't.
thank you.
But as far as I'm concerned, you're a legend. Because you've earned that, right? I mean, I would say you've earned that.
I done put in some work.
You put in some work. Yeah, you put in some work. And probably, I would say probably against a lot of odds to be doing what you're doing and have been doing it for as long as you've been doing it. Like that's a feat. A lot of people quit. A lot of people don't, you know, especially when it comes to working with youth and things can be tough and people can quit. A lot of people quit on the youth. But
when
you
God gives you a ministry, though, he equips you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gives you what you need.
So let's start kind of from your beginning. You know, you started in the music industry.
Yeah, playing around with it for those of them that know TC Ellis and
another legend.
Sue Ann Carwell, my little sister and my younger sister and younger brother.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't, like I tell the kids, the young people at high school for recording artists, we didn't have all that access that they have now. You know, it was hustling, trying to hustle up money for studio time, you know, just trying to make the connections. A lot of it was trial and error. You know, you made mistakes trying to figure out, how do I go about doing this, or not knowing the legalities of contracts. And, you know, it was a lot. The music industry was a lot different than it is now, because back then everybody was trying to get a deal. It was like everybody was trying to get a record deal.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just mixing and moving around in that, trying to learn about that. And I wasn't an artist, but I was management at the time.
Yeah.
Not really even knowing what all management was supposed to do. So that's why I say trial and error. You know, we were trying to figure it out. And so the music game is as I moved around in it more and was participating in it, and I managed a little group called Sadiq and a group called 4 Deep, and did a couple things. I realized I thought about as my spiritual walk became became really important to me. And one day I said the music business is worse than the dope game. You know, when I say that, I meant because there were some things that I seen or that I heard people talk about that didn't set well with me as a person, as who I was internally. And so in that, you know, but I loved all the hype of the music, and I loved music. I grew up in Minneapolis. Live music was our thing, you know, just like they were talking about. They had the event the other day over at the Capri on about the Minneapolis sound. I mean, it was incredible to be, you know, in that era and to be able to participate in that. But I had incredible parents, and I watched my mom and dad be so community and so giving, and not even really realizing that that's what it was at that time. It was just the way we lived, the way we, my mom, anybody could come eat, anybody could come stay. She always would say, you help people, there's people that have more than you. There are people that have less than you, we just need to always be reaching. And
that's one of those things that you don't realize how special it is until later.
Man.
Because it's just how it was, right? So, people say, like, yeah, we were poor, but I didn't know we were poor.
Right.
Because it's just how it was, right?
It's
just
just how it was.
Like, you don't realize that until.
But as you do this work, though, and as you journey and you have friends or you listen to other people's story, I do realize just really how blessed we were. See, my life, I was never not recognized. I always had a birthday party and a Christmas and a Thanksgiving and the holidays and everything. That was important. And I can remember sometimes thinking as I got older with my mom, God, she just invites the whole neighborhood. Can we ever just have something where it's just us, But that's who she was. And so I realized as I began to journey that was in me. And I love young people, and I realized that their well-being was my purpose. And so, as that just continued to develop and grow, and then I had an opportunity. I need to give a shout out to Sharif, my former husband, and Spike Moss, the City Inc., all of that, because that's where this journey with Check Yourself began.
Yeah.
It was a program, and they just said go to work. And so basically what I did in the creation of it was I took everything that I had been learning in the music industry, because music is universal. You know what I mean? We communicate, and young people loved music. And the subject matter, my platform was HIV and AIDS and STD and teen pregnancy prevention.
Around what year is this?
This is 1992. The program officially started in February of 1993, and we kind of got started with it because with the grant writing and everything.
So
February 1992.
Did Check Yourself, the origin of Check Yourself was literally like check yourself?
Check yourself.
Check yourself.
Yeah. I was just being creative with putting a program together and what I had to do. And then, there was
so you, just to be clear, you were encouraging people to go get themselves checked out.
Yeah. Go get tested. We need to know, because what it was our community, the African American community, was being impacted greatly.
Yes.
In numbers with HIV and AIDS, but the myth or the story in the community was that was a gay white boy's disease.
Yep.
And so a lot of times, based on misinformation, then you exclude yourself from needing to know what the real deal about this is and how it's really going down.
Yeah.
And so what my task was, I put a program together that could outreach to a group of young people that were not getting a message, a fact-based message, but I needed to serve them the truth in a way that they not only heard it, but that they received it. Because it was all about making behavior changes, positive behavior changes, and understanding that this is impacting us.
And providing the information, like you said, there was so much misinformation. I'm an 80s baby, so I do remember some of this.
Right.
I remember when people refused to play on the same court as Magic because they thought,
right. They didn't understand that you could not become infected from casual contact and what the modes of transmission were. It was just, people, there were people that had people in their families that they didn't want them living there. Yeah. They felt they couldn't eat and use the same utensils, use the bathroom at them. And it just took off and all.
I don't know if this was true. I think I read an article about this or heard a video about this or something like that, but you can confirm or deny if this is true or not. Was there a massive pandemic at that time of doctors and nurses being assaulted for giving people the news that they had contracted HIV or AIDS? Because I heard men were getting upset with doctors being like, are you saying I'm gay? And assaulting people because of that.
I heard those things, but a big part of that there, you know how there's like usually a little bit of truth in every myth.
Yeah.
And so I think that was
Probably
some of
what it
it,
was, yeah.
but it's like society tends to platform the negative.
True.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that's
People think that's new. That ain't new.
no.
It's
That's
there's just a lot more places to do it
right.
now. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that came with you know, people feeling that anybody that was HIV positive was promiscuous.
Yeah.
Not understanding that you might have been having your first sexual relationship with somebody
Yep.
who had multiple partners.
Yep. Might not
Who
even
maybe
been,
was-
might not even been sex. Y'all might have just been doing drugs together in the
Well,
back alley.
yeah, shooting needles,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
The shooting dope,
Yeah.
learning, and that was what my big thing was to teach the facts about first of all, what HIV and AIDS was,
Yeah.
and that they're two separate things.
Yep.
AIDS is a result of HIV.
Yes.
HIV is the human immunodeficiency virus.
Yep.
AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome.
Yep.
So separating them, and I say science and society did that because the way we say it, and we still do, we go HIV AIDS,
Yeah.
you know, like it's one disease.
Yep.
But you know, just teaching that, and then teaching how you become infected and how you don't become infected,
Yo,
and how you prevent infection. You don't become infected from kissing a person or casual contact or using the bathroom or
Right.
eating behind them. But that was just, it was like people felt like, oh my God, I don't want to be near anybody that has it. They didn't know that
I don't know why this is just right now hitting me, but I'm just now realizing that narrative that's out there about how Magic Johnson beat AIDS, he's never been diagnosed with AIDS.
Well, first of all,
Am I wrong about that?
HIV. He didn't even beat HIV. What he
Still
is
has
he's
AIDS.
still HIV
Yes.
positive.
Yeah.
But Magic has maintained good health.
Yes.
First of all, I mean, you know, of course he had the best foods,
Got the money.
the best access,
Yep.
the best, you know, he didn't have to deal with, well, just being infected, there's a stress that probably comes along with
For sure.
that. You know, I'm sure that a person just getting that diagnosis,
Yep.
but he had everything to help him to stay healthy.
Yes.
Okay. So that's, I believe, and I believe in divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what I believe in terms of,
So him getting HIV was divine intervention because he was out here wilding.
well, I mean,
He was.
you could look at it from that perspective, but what I was actually speaking of was that his health, he's remained healthy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's remained healthy.
Very.
And
He looks amazing.
when he came here, it was years ago. He came, and I got a chance to meet him and
Okay.
talk with him, and my Check Yourself crew members at the time. Shout out Melzina, Marlon, Gino. I believe, I can't remember all who went to the event, but you know, we got a chance. We went and we outreached and we passed out information, I say I served the block. You know, I served the block, and I served them with condoms and information.
Yeah.
You know, I would do drive up, pop the trunk, get out. I got something you need. Sharing, you know, bleach kits. Back then we were doing bleach kits so that people could clean their needles properly. You know, and yeah, that was pretty, you know, like you said, it wasn't easy. It wasn't something that everybody agreed with.
Yeah. So you got the cosign from Magic.
Well,
Check
no,
Yourself?
he didn't co-sign me. We were already doing what we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
but we knew of him, and he was open and out with it, and so that was a positive thing.
Yeah.
To be able to see him and to see him still healthy and getting out and talking about it. But the program already existed before Magic.
Okay. Were you ever able to get any other celebrities involved in the Check Yourself movement?
Oh God, yeah. Check Yourself. Well, Ice Cube, you know they did the Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. There's two stories about that, because I have a memory of something, but one of my Check Yourself crew members told me, no, Mama Shy, that's not exactly what happened. So they were playing the song. And I said, yeah, I like that song. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up applying it to the program, because when Check Yourself, before it was Check Yourself, it was a part of the gang movement.
Yeah.
And it was the gang movement when we started was all nations under God. And so then, you know, that's what the movement was. And then we named it Check Yourself Crew, the CYC.
Yep.
CYC was the Check Yourself Crew. So what happened was we took that on. And so we took on that check yourself before you wreck yourself. That was our slogan.
Yep.
And so that was how we delivered our message when we would get out on the street. We got some information. We're about saving lives. We're about keeping you safe, giving you information so that you know how to move forward, because you don't have to become infected with HIV. There's a lot of things in our community that our young people didn't have any choice in the matter. But my big thing with them was you got a choice.
For sure.
I could tell you how to get there. You're sexually active. You're using drugs, whatever it might be. Let me talk to you about how you clean these needles properly. Let me talk to you about how you use this latex condom barrier correctly.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And just having conversation with them in a way, like I said, that they not just heard you, but they accepted what you said, because they were going to have to accept the information in order to make a behavior change.
Yeah.
So that's really, we were serving the truth on the block when it came to HIV and even with teen pregnancy prevention, you know.
So how did word get to Ice Cube?
You know what happened was
Did he get litigious? Did he try to sue?
No, he was wonderful, and he was just wonderful again here recently. You know, he was just here.
I did, yeah. He was
And
right?
so we got in contact with him and stuff, and we showed him. He was my first endorsement. He held up a shirt that said, "Check yourself before you wreck yourself." I had designed a African continent with an AIDS ribbon in front of it.
Okay.
And so this is back when the program first started. And so we got together, and he took a picture with the shirt and everything. Now you gotta remember, I got a little music connect stuff going on because of the music industry, right? So yeah, he blessed us and talked to the kids and was very, you know, he was really, really open about. And then, you know, they lost Easy as a result. Easy was a big part of our movement in the beginning as well.
He was.
And so, but then, so over the years, a couple times, young people of mine would say, I ran into Ice Cube, and I told him, you know, I was in the Check Yourself Crew, and I asked him, you know, Mama Shy, you know. So when he came this time, we contacted him. And so my young people, this is, I don't know how many years later, because that program started when he first held up the shirt was in 1992 or 93, 1993. Here today, my young people were able to take that picture of him. I made pictures for all of them, him holding up that shirt. And they were able to go, and he was so kind to them. He talked to them. He took pictures with them. He signed, he autographed the pictures from 30 plus years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, I got nothing but crazy love and mad respect for that man and how he has how he's journeyed through his music career.
What about Snoop? Didn't you have?
Yep, Snoop. We had Snoop. Snoop got on. What is Snoop? I think it was KMOJ. And Snoop said, Mama Shy done came in the house and bought me a kilo of condoms. Because I came up there with a box of
Do you still have that soundbite somewhere?
Huh?
You still got that soundbite?
You know what? I don't know if I have that one. KMOJ probably has it. But you know what I do have? That when Jay-Z was here, I took my young people to see Jay-Z.
Yep.
And Jay-Z held our T-shirt up.
Oh, wow.
And said, educate your mind, protect your body. And he said, I'm rocking with this. And he held the shirt up. It was all on the Tron. And then, oh my God.
What tour was this?
That was.
Is this the Hard Knock Life tour?
Does anybody remember what that?
It better not have been the Best of Both Worlds tour.
You know, because my thing with my memory now and dates and everything, but we have it now. That clip I have.
That's fine.
And so my young people that I took to that was their first time going, they said, to an actual concert.
Wow.
And so we were like in the 5th or 6th row or whatever. And so they kept holding up the shirt and they were rocking with them so hard. And so he told, you know how the cameras work?
Yep.
He said, put the camera on him.
Yeah.
And they put it on the wrong person. And he said, no, him with the shirt.
Wow.
And so the Tron went on. Well, I had made him a gift bag that had our shirt and everything in it. So that's all how that handled. So I'm digging around looking, trying to find the gift bag. And I handed it to one of the kids, and the young people, they hold it up. And he said, "Is that for me?" And they were like, yeah. He said, let them come.
Hold on, do you have this on video?
Yes. Yes. It was a beautiful thing.
Could you put that video in right here, please?
There's a whole story.
Right here?
There's a whole
It's like, you made some shit. You want me to have? Okay, give it to this young man right here. You made some shit. Is it for me or you just Sean? Oh yeah, bring that shit. You take this. You accept this. What is it? Did you make it? Call it your clothing line. Put it on camera shit. Let's put your shit on camera. Give somebody. No, not that. Get the shirt. The shirt. That's your shit. That's my shit. That's my shit. Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh no. I didn't want you to take it out now, but oh fuck it, since you have, let's take them all the way to the top. Educate your mind, protect your body. I like that.
Story behind the thing with Jay-Z and I had been calling. You know, when you have a group of peer educators, young people that you want to be able to go to things and experience stuff, but a lot of times you don't have the budget for that. Or what it is that the Minnesota Department of Health doesn't endorse, that those tickets were expensive. So I had to buy those tickets out of pocket and stuff. But I had been calling, like I try to call the promoters or the managers or whatever before sometimes the artists would sit down here and tell them about my program and my young people and about High School for Recording Arts and what we do there, and be like, you know, do you think you could supply me with some tickets, or I'll buy some, and can you give me some, or, you know, just different things like that. And I've been blessed on more than one occasion. What's the brother we just lost not too long ago? I'm sorry, I can't think of it. If I think it come back. He was real cool. And I had a Check Yourself crew member, Josiah, who was crazy. DMX. That's the stuff when I start telling stories that come to me. He was crazy about DMX. Oh, Mama Shy, I want to meet DMX. And so we got a chance to go backstage, and he got to take pictures with them.
Is this at Soundset?
No. This was way before Soundset.
Before Soundset, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's those kind of things that have happened where this program the music industry part has helped me. The fact of being at High School for Recording Arts, even though I was doing a lot of this before we even got to High School for Recording Arts, because like I said, I was at the City Inc. I was at an organization that was very controversial. So like when you say this wasn't easy, but we were putting in crazy work. And the piece that the United for Peace was able to bring at one time is like, I wish, you know, I would love to revisit that in terms of like the things that are going on the street amongst the young people and stuff now. I love them. I don't care what organization, what set, whatever that is. I have love for them, and I pray for them regularly, because a lot of the stuff that's going on out here is just, it's like nonsense, and we're losing too many. I'm watching my friends and my peers losing their grandchildren and their children. So many of my students that I love and adore, and that I see them daily, and in life I'm hearing that they've either with this Percocet stuff that was not fentanyl that was going on, then the gang violence stuff, all the just things, man. And I'm like, we need to be promoting peace and love at this point, because this is just a trick. It's a trick of the enemy.
Yes, like we've gone so far down a rabbit hole. It's like even myself, like I love controversy. I love beef and all that has always been a part of hip hop for me. It's one of the things that I've always,
But see, beef wasn't always a part of hip hop from where I come from.
Well,
it became that, and you guys gasoline it.
I was ingratiated in that.
Okay.
So my first experiences with hip hop You know, I was like I said, I was born in '84, so my first experience with hip hop was Snoop Dogg on trial for murder, Pac and Biggie, Dr. Dre, NWA, and them all going at each other. You know, No Vaseline, that was how I literally came into this shit. Like that's what made me fall in love with it. But then people started to die.
Right.
That now it changes. Like I'm 12 years old, crying over the death of somebody that I didn't actually personally know, but I felt like I did because Pac was the first person to speak to me. Like,
because what happens is it went from really entertainment and acting.
Yes.
Because a lot of these people out here,
of course, most
are not living what they're rapping.
Correct.
And I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But what it is that it's what's popular and what sells now. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, I'm like, let's change the narrative. I understand this, like the platform I'm here at today, live on Lake Street.
What about
you
us?
know, I'm just wait a minute. What? You better tell him, old boy, because if you get jazzy, I'll jump across this table. I still got it in me now. Hold your peace, Jake.
What we do?
But anyway, so but no, it's like I know that this is the stuff that sells, and sometimes you know, and I've listened to a little bit of it, and I'm like, God, I just wish that it didn't have to be that way. And I understand that this is a form of entertainment. I probably shouldn't mention, but there's a show. There's a lady, Tasha K. Are you familiar with her? That she does a podcast, and I've listened to her and sometimes I really like what she's talking about and whatever. And then other times I'm like, oh my God, could somebody shut her down?
Ain't she getting shut down?
But she might be. I haven't actually sat and listened to her.
Isn't Cardi B taking every damn penny she has right now, I think? And
that's the thing. It's like you got to be responsible and respectful in this thing. And I don't see that a lot of times with new school, with the younger ones. I'm like, we got some rules. You know what I'm saying? And I think that things go a lot better when we are respectful, when we play by the rules.
I'm glad that
talk to the OGs.
I'm glad that you bring this up. I actually am, because I have a couple of thoughts on this, and we don't need to run this into the ground. But what I will say is, I'm in that generation between you and those young people. So I came up in a certain way where, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens today that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, posting money on the internet, I don't get. Sorry, Chief. Posting guns on the internet, I don't get. Not sorry to any of you motherfuckers that are doing that.
Right.
Posting your whereabouts, posting your location, things like that, posting other people's locations. I don't like. I can't wrap my head around most of this. Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say is, I think a lot of like stuff that I do here on this platform gets misconstrued. Like, yeah, I'm going to let you come up here and talk about your beef with whoever you got beef with, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, I think about it differently. A lot of people look at it as like, oh, you're instigating. Well, one, what you don't understand is there's a whole probably 30 minutes before the mics are hot and a whole 30 minutes after the mics are hot where conversations are happening that y'all are not, the viewer's not aware of. Mm-hmm. Chances are I asked that person long before the interview even started, hey, do you want to discuss this? Mm-hmm. Or maybe I didn't even know about it, and they said, hey, I want to discuss this. Please make sure you bring this up. So a lot of the stuff that gets brought up isn't just me on a whim just going, hey, you got beef with so-and-so? No, there's planning behind it, right? But I look at it a slightly different way, because you'll always hear me say, don't incriminate anybody else, don't incriminate yourself. I don't want anybody getting incriminated, and I really don't want anybody getting hurt. But if we're sitting here talking about an issue that you have with somebody, mm-hmm. that issue exists with or without me, with or without this platform, with or without, right? That's y'all have an issue. Mm-hmm. How can we even begin to work that out if that issue is not out in the public, out in the open?
Back in the day, what we called it was, let's go to the basement.
Okay.
It didn't need to be worked out.
Yeah.
On a social platform or media or whatever. But we didn't have all this either back then.
Yep.
So it was like, you know, we getting ready to sit down and we're going to talk this out and work this out. Because what people can do is they can agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You don't have to have the same. There's a couple times I think I might have said to Chief, I'm finna come up there and get with old boy. Talking about you. Oh yeah, let's keep it 100.
Okay.
I'm like, what is he talking about? You know.
Right, yep.
But understanding and looking at, because see, this all this podcast stuff and all this kind of
That was
stuff.
probably, whatever it was that pissed you off that I said, it was probably some shit he texted me in the middle of the interview.
You know what? And he gonna get it late. Let me tell you something. He know my wrath. He know how I get down. He'll tell you. But no, what it is that just like what you said, airing it out in public and stuff. See, for me, this is a new way of doing things. This is not the way we did things. We sat down and we had discussions, and some of them were very heated.
Yep.
And it didn't always, go like the person had planned.
Yeah.
But it was done in what we wanted it to be, a respectful manner. Keeping it as what we would say, I'm gonna keep it gangster, I'm gonna keep it real, I'm gonna keep it whatever with you, but I'm gonna be respectful to you from man to man or woman to woman or set to set,
Yeah, that shit
or
don't
whatever.
exist anymore.
I've had love from every organization. My God, I've been so loved and so blessed, and just with the young people, I don't care who they're repping, okay, and even in their leadership. Because I think that people know when your heart is good and when you have a desire for things to be pure and I'm not saying, because I'm not perfect, and the reason I can speak to this is because not with this platform, but there been a time where I was a hothead. I mean, even with the young people, I done ran up on the sidewalk on the car. What you doing up here? You know what I mean? Because they looked like there was some stuff going on that was wrong. And they used to be, Mama Shy's worse than the drive-by boys. They used to. But that's because I was seeing the direction, just like what you're talking about. You're in between it. I was watching the direction that we were going in, and I wanted to U-turn. I wanted to U-turn. I'm like, we got too many things and situations against us as a people and as a community for us to be focusing and letting negative, because this is entertainment, but it turns into some other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to realize. That's what I had to realize. This is entertainment, but I don't have to like it.
No, you
I don't have to be for it.
You do not.
I don't have to, because as an elder, I sit back and see what a lot of it is bringing. There's been beef at our school and amongst students and amongst everything based on stuff that was actually done on the internet or on podcasts or whatever. That makes me a 65-year-old woman who loves them and loves this community. It makes me sad. That hurts me.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's been stuff that's happened on this platform that eventually made me sad as well.
Okay.
It happens.
Yep.
But the big word that you just said was entertainment. And I think a big part of the problem is Minnesota as a whole lacks an understanding of the entertainment industry. And whether maybe we had it at one point and lost it or just never really had it. But I just feel like there have been times, I won't say who, but there have been times where we've had artists on this platform that were beefing with each other, and behind the scenes they were talking to each other like, hey, I'm going to go up there and say this. You go up there and say that.
Oh, yeah.
It happens. That's
It's entertainment.
That's entertainment, right? But meanwhile, 1,000 people are watching that on YouTube going, oh, y'all are going to get somebody killed. And it's like, we're not, but I feel you.
But you want to know something? Where you're sitting and you say, we're not. But you got these people out here that are watching entertainment, not realizing it's entertainment, or they're thinking it to be, and they're siding up. They're taking sides. And they're the ones that will have beef in the street about something that they heard or whatever on this platform that's not even really, like you said, the two people done sat here and been cool.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But they'll see it as, so-and-so's beefing and I'm
you're
siding
right-
up.
you're
I'm
right
teaming
about
up.
that.
This is my crew. This is my mob. This woo-woo. You come for them. You coming for me. You come for,
You're right.
And I get it because, like I said, I was there. I was in it before. I was in it. But I know that, that we got to figure out a different and a better way. as a people, and then we
are we
got to
too-
put
are we too far- are
entertainment.
we too far
We got to
gone, though?
put entertainment in its place.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
if that,
somebody said to me earlier, they said, "Mama Shy, when did we get in the business of rewarding bad behavior? How do we reward bad? Because like my mom and dad wasn't rewarding no bad behavior. You was getting your ass kicked, or you was gonna sit down and get talking to. That was then. Now what I see is I'm saying, help me. I'm trying to figure out something about how we do that. I don't have all the answers. I fall down every day. I probably, like I sat here and I told you my spiritual peace and everything and how much I love God. He's managed to keep me here in spite of my own craziness and self for a purpose.
Yep.
And the well-being of my young people and my community. I believe that to be my purpose. And so that's what my job is to work at.
Yeah.
Whether, if I'm just successful with one situation or with 100 situations.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to talk to people and ask them, what do we do? I would love to see a podcast that promotes nothing but positive. Now people say they won't get no hits.
They won't.
Ain't nobody gonna listen. It won't be successful. What you know what I mean? And I'm saying, golly, is that real?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that is real. I mean, that is some of my favorite episodes that I've ever done. Got 38 views because nobody gives a fuck. Nobody
Right.
cares. It's essentially it's.
So nobody's probably gonna even be listening to me because they're gonna be saying like,
Maybe.
she on there speaking peace.
Depends on which
And-
one we.
and-
Depends
and-
on which clips we put out.
Oh, okay.
Depends
Well,
on
you
which
better
clips
be
we put
careful.
out. Hey, talk to the
You
producer.
better be careful.
Talk to the producer. Don't talk to me.
Producer,
Don't
be
talk to me.
careful now.
That ain't me. I don't do that.
Because I run up on him too.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answers. One thing I will tell you is, like you say, you know your purpose. I believe this is my purpose. I believe my purpose is to be of service to others, and that's what this is to me: is being of service to others, giving people a voice, giving people an opportunity to come up here, promote themselves, say what they want to say, feel how they want to feel, all that. So, personally, just on a personal level, as a 38-year-old man, father of 4 boys, I wish pure positivity sold the way that it does, the way that negativity does. I would rather that. I would rather come up here and be all lovey-dovey and just give flowers and talk about how great everything is and all that. But it just won't.
It won't
work.
keep your show on.
And it's it's I think you asked like where it started. I think the news is where it started. The phrase, if it bleeds, it leads. That's where it started.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. If it bleeds, it leads. If me and PKL are sitting up here going back and forth with each other, I'm not going to say his name, but if we're sitting here going back and forth with each other for an hour, that's blood. That's blood in the water. People want to watch that.
Right, they do.
10,000 people want to watch that.
And that's why I have such a hard time like finding TV shows and stuff now, because I just subscribe to PureFlex because they got some really nice programs on that aren't all about anger and fighting and killing and stuff. And I need it. Like I tell people, my real life, I'm at a high school. I need some fantasy. My reality is a lot of the stuff that you guys are talking about and the behaviors and the different things that are going on. And I'm not so old that I don't remember, because I can remember myself and being, roll them up. Let's, we could, but it just seems like the level of it now has gotten so high, it's so heightened that the death part of it is what the people so willing to kill and to go to the death with it and to push the button that hard. And I'm thinking, is any of it really that serious?
It's the value on human life has changed, and I think that a lot of that is because of social media, video games, like the things that they used to blame it on. All it's true. Like we can't solely blame social media, video games, and music, right? We can't solely blame those things because my kids are listening to the music, my kids are playing video games, my kids are on social media, but they value human life. They're not quick to go to the fight, to go to the gun, because they have good parents. Now, some kids don't got parents.
Right.
So we can't blame it on the parents either.
No, and that's why I'm mama shy.
Yeah. So it's a, you know what I mean? Like there isn't, like, there's so much gray area within this. Like, no, we cannot blame a rapper for a kid joining a gang committing murder. We can't. Mm-hmm. It's not fair because that artist is expressing their life. Now, where I think we can, where the waters do get muddied, is if this rapper really never lived that life, has never been about that life, any of that life, and they're just out here talking that way. Now I got a problem with you.
Right.
So that is where I will blame the music.
But then do we say we have a problem with it, or is it just entertainment?
See,
they're just entertaining. They're doing just like what we're saying about this platform. This platform, like you said, nobody would be listening if you guys were doing peace and love and pass out flowers, right?
Right.
So they're feeling like their music, or they wouldn't be able to blow up and be popular unless they're rapping about something they probably have not lived, seen, or whatever, but they know it's what sells. They know it's entertainment. So they're like, shoot, I'm trying to be famous. I want to be famous. I want to be an entertainer. I want people to speak my name and know my, my music, or whatever it is that they're presenting in life, that they want to be famous.
It's a really valid point. It's a really valid point. I don't know if we can compare a podcast to music in that way.
Okay.
But you might have got me there. I mean, you might be right. It's like if I'm on one hand saying, well, this is entertainment, but I guess the difference to me is like,
I did get you, and I am right.
Yes. the difference to me is like, I'm not on here portraying a certain type of life. I'm on here being me.
Okay.
I'm being me at all times. I'm going to be me on this microphone, in that room over there, at home, in my vehicle, at Gold Room. I'm going to be me all the time. So like, I'm not portraying something. I'm not selling something. Now, I think we could, just like I could say, I blame the artist that's not really living that life, that's talking about that life. If they come up to this platform and talk about that life, they're to blame also, because you're lying. You're lying.
And guess what? They're just entertaining. They're lying, but they're just entertaining.
Yeah. So I don't like that. If you come up here and sit at that chair and lie, entertainment is one thing, but flat out just lies, like I was out here doing this, I was doing that. Don't lie.
But then, okay, so let me say this. There will be some people that will hear this and say, no, Mama Shy didn't go on there talking about basically praise the Lord or this and that and the other one. She'll karate chop you in the throat if you act up in school, if you this, that, and the other. Oh, she's come. I'm not a saint. Mm-hmm. I'm not perfect. I got good intentions, but I don't always behave the way that I should. Yeah. And I don't always say the right thing. So I know that there's, we're all humans. We all are flawed. And some people are willing. It's just like what I was saying about the music industry. I wasn't willing to go to the extreme that would make me successful.
Yep, understood.
I just wasn't willing to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm living out my purpose. Okay. This is who I am, with all the imperfections, with all the ups and downs. You guys just had a guest on, Von Terry, that was the designer of Prince.
Yes.
Vaughn, I worked for Vaughn.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And Earth, Wind, and Fire. Well, there's a whole bunch of people. I guess I get stuck on the
Earth, Wind, and Fire is my shit. That's why I said that.
Baby, if you look at Earth, Wind, and Fire's old costumes.
Yep. Now I know.
That's all I need to say.
Yep.
But he gave me an opportunity to when I was able to come and go to work for him, and he exposed me and opened up things for me in the designer industry, the clothing industry. Now, I was already that girl. He noticed that.
Yeah.
I knew how to put them clothes on her, how to make it happen, but I was introduced to a professional side of that. Like I told him yesterday, one of the things that I remember most that he did when he reached for me when I was being exposed, and he was taking me, he took me to a fabric convention. First of all, I never even knew nothing like that existed.
Sounds boring as hell.
No. for
I'm sure it
somebody
wasn't.
who loves clothes
Yeah.
and fabric and likes dressing and everything. I went to McCormick Place in Chicago and seen a whole convention taking place around fabric.
Yeah.
That was so, I told him yesterday, I said, I tried to act like, oh, okay, whatever. But inside, my insides were just jumping because of this exposure and this opportunity. And it was so positive and so good. And so it was somebody that was in the industry that seen a young girl that had a love for fashion and clothes and acknowledged it and embraced me. And then he didn't just embrace me, he grew me. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, I feel like it's so important for us, for those of us that are in position to speak something or do something good that's going to raise somebody's level, that's going to make their self-esteem go up and be better, to just, that's what I'm looking at and toward. And I guess what I don't see is that the TV shows, I don't want to just say the podcast, like I love TMZ. That show that comes on, I like them. I like listening to the stuff that they have, and I guess I believe, like they say, they don't just put anything on. They try to research it and try to find out and
They're
make
the most accurate
make
news
it
platform in the world.
Yes, and I love them.
They
and
don't
the way,
miss.
the way they do things, and they have a couple times, but they've got on there and said that they did.
It's rare.
And
they
so
rarely miss.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. So I'm not trying to like down everything. I'm just saying I just would love to see more positive.
Well,
when you guys first started, remember, I think it was that you guys were going to talk about music. Was it that you were going to talk about music? You didn't play music, but you were talking about the music and what was happening in the kind of like the community, the music community and stuff. And it didn't, it seems like it has evolved into more of a battle or of a turf ground, or who's beefing with who and this and that and the other. And so that's the part. But I'm understanding what you're saying is, excuse me, this is entertainment.
Yeah, and I don't think we've actually, the actual show, it's gotten better. The production value's better. Like all that.
God,
you know
this
what I mean?
is incredible.
But the conversations haven't changed that much from the very beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, they really haven't changed that much. When we started, it was like we kind of knew what we wanted to do, but it with things like this, you kind of let them become what it's going to become. And the thing is like, I could sit here and talk to music with an underground artist from Minneapolis that has 3,000 followers on Instagram all day long, right? And I'll have a good conversation. It'll be fun for me, but nobody really cares about that. You know what I mean? Like if we want to gain any type of national recognition, nobody wants to listen to Juice Lord talk about his album that he sold 3,000 copies of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the reach isn't there, and I'm only using him as an example.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there needs to be a reach there. So, yes, sometimes we got to talk about that other shit. Like, what about that post you made about so and so? Like those things are pertinent, and they do help build things. I mean, you see where we're at now. Like
right.
It's working. You know what I mean? It's working. So. Yeah, and as far as like
I guess you guys don't say names. Do you not say his name or whatever?
Who, Chief?
Yeah,
you can say his name
because that's
just make sure if you call him by his government, you got to follow it up with God with us. That's it. That's the only rule.
Oh, so don't
Emmanuel,
say
God with
Emmanuel.
us.
Oh, okay.
Emmanuel,
I was going to
God
say
with
so,
us.
and I can give the birthday and everything.
If you
Probably
want to.
got the social security.
Yeah, if you got
number
it, you
somewhere,
could give
but
it. Yeah.
Anyway,
Some
no,
people out there would like to have it, I'm sure.
I say that to say, that's one of mine.
Yeah.
He's one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He was in my program.
Yeah.
He graduated from high school for recording arts. You think that I don't come up here and see this and feel wonderful?
Of course.
Oh my God.
Of
I
course.
am so, I love to see all of them that I got. I don't know. Have you had Zeke on the beat on?
You just did.
Zeke on the beat. Love him. That's one of mine.
We had a lot up here from that graduated. From
yes, those are my babies.
And some that haven't graduated yet,
right?
That are still there.
And believe me, I got some more that I'm getting ready to send up here. We got some new crew. I
haven't been disappointed by one of them yet.
All right, I had to shout out to Ari and Raya and
Yes.
and Kamarion and all. I got look, Kingston.
I want to go back to one thing that you said before about how it seems to have turned into more of like a turf battle or turf war.
Okay.
I've been wanting to say this, so I need to say this right now. You don't never hear me one time in like 200 plus episodes have I popped my shit in any type of boisterous manner. I don't give a fuck who's number one. I don't care who's got the biggest platform. I don't care who's the best. I don't care who to talk about who's the best. None of that stuff matters to me. What matters to me is what I do when I'm in this seat. That's all I care about.
Okay.
He likes to pop shit. I'm cool with it. It's two sides to every coin, right? Like, in a way, it's kind of the perfect balance. It's like he likes to pop shit. I really don't. I like to come here and give him the shit to pop about.
Right.
Like, I'll let him say I'm the GOAT. I'll let him say there's nobody better to be in this chair than me. I'll let him say that. I don't need to say it. I'll let him say it. I'll let the people say it. Do I believe it? Yeah. Of course, I feel that way about myself. I don't think there's anybody better at this job that I'm doing in Minnesota. I don't. But I don't feel the need to have a battle or a war about it. I'm just going to kill you with the success.
What Joyce Myers has said all the time is, what you think about me is really none of my business.
It's a fact. It's a fact. But that we live in an era where everybody wants to tell you the business about how they feel about you.
Right.
And I'm just glad you're watching.
You know what? And I'm watching more now a little bit because I really wasn't doing a whole lot of watching, but I thought, I need to check this out. I need to see what's going on because I have to try to keep up with the young people and what they got going on. I think about my pastor, Reverend McAfee, talks about a lot of times about.
Talk about a guy that had problems with me.
Huh? Oh,
well, he don't like me.
He don't.
Oh no.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait. I got wait. Let me give me my phone.
Meanwhile, his son is one of my favorite rappers. That ever
I
touch
love
a mic.
him. And that's what. But I've been that one right there. I've been hugging and kissing since he was a baby.
Yeah,
I love that.
He's
boy.
one of the best we got here.
But guess what? So you got that feeling about him, but for whatever reason. I don't know what it is because I haven't heard it. I've never heard him say it, but I'm gonna have to have a conversation with my pastor about it because he's not one of your favorite ones.
No, he don't like me.
He don't like you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I have no problem. I don't know him at all, so
okay.
I can't
He's a
speak
wonderful.
I cannot speak on.
He's a wonderful man. You should come in and join us one Sunday.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. Meet
Come
him.
on over to New Salem.
Shake his hand and show him who I really am. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure he has an idea of who I am based on clips that he's seen or things like that.
He's a wonderful man.
I'm sure he is.
And so, New Salem, Sunday, 11 o'clock.
Okay. I don't know if I can go to church.
Why not? But then guess what? I'm gonna tell you something. What's wonderful about? I'm gonna tell you what's wonderful. I'm gonna tell you what's wonderful about my pastor. You don't have to go to church to see him, baby. All you got to do is walk through the community.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's there.
To be honest, I'd like to have him up here.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Well, let's try to do that.
For sure. My favorite interviews I've ever done are when I sit across from people that don't like me.
Okay.
Those are my favorite.
Well, I'm trying to remember. What did I say to you at the school the first time I met you? Didn't I say I got beef with you or something?
Yeah, and here you are.
Yep,
and
here I am.
This has been one of my favorite interviews.
And we're sitting across the table from each other, and it's all good.
It's easy to get an idea of who somebody is based on clips, based on maybe an interview,
The part that really has to resonate with me, and I got to keep this in mind too, is that it's entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get into like a whole lot of other stuff and start analyzing and picking apart statements and different things. And I guess if I look at it as entertainment, I can either choose to watch it and be entertained by
the channel
it
if you want
or
to.
not. Or change the channel because
I
I don't have
all the time.
I don't have to listen.
That's my number one response to people. I don't really respond too much to people anymore these days because I don't think there's anything. People just want to fight and argue. But if I am going to respond to some negativity, that's my response. Change the channel. You don't have to watch this. But let's be real.
Right. But
you want to watch it because what else would you complain about? You need shit to complain about. People wake up looking to complain.
Not everybody. Yeah. Everybody don't need stuff to complain about. They got enough stuff on their list.
But you're not in comments complaining.
No.
You don't go to stuff you don't like to let them know you don't like it. The people that show up to things that they don't like to tell them that they don't like it, they secretly they wouldn't be able to live without it because then they wouldn't have nothing to type about. I hate this. Thanks for stopping by. But is there anything you like? Go let them know.
Right. How about, can you speak to the positive?
Yeah. Do you go to your podcast page that you love and type, man, I really love this? No, you don't. You just watch it, enjoy it, and move on. And then you go to the shit you hate and let them know that you hate it.
Boy, I tell you,
that's the era we live in.
This is the world we live in.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hopeful.
Kids are way the kids, my kids, the generation that I'm raising, they're better than all of us.
I hope so.
They're better than all of us.
That's what I'm praying for and hoping that what does it say? Better days are coming.
Yeah, I think so.
Better days are coming.
I think so. I asked my kid the other day, like he was out gone all day. I'm like, you out there smoking weed, drinking and shit? And he goes, kids don't really do that shit anymore. I'm like, huh?
Where are they at?
Well, I'm not gonna say all that.
Oh, yeah. I guess I forget. I'm so comfortable. I'm forgetting almost that we're doing a podcast.
But yeah,
and a radio. Radio.
I don't think he's necessarily right, but the fact that that's what he's thinking,
his life.
that lets
and that's
me know,
a
like,
good thing. Yeah, that's
right.
where he is.
Good,
I just had talked to my niece this morning, and we were talking about her daughter, kind of the same thing with kids and how different things are. And she was like, she said, I'm really happy because she's not fast. Back in the day, the word was fast. If you was fast, and she said, she's really not fast. She's doing age-appropriate things, and her and her friends, and they're having fun, because I worry about that. Do young people have fun anymore? It just seems like everything is always based on a beef and a social media.
They do be
and
fighting.
A riff and
they fight.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got my kid's high school has a whole Snapchat channel dedicated to fights. And a lot of the fights are mutually agreed upon. Like, they have a fight, help each other out, move on.
Well, that's good.
I'm cool with that.
The move on part.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that because nothing's perfect. People have had fights.
Yeah.
Still be having
fights.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
But I'm okay with that part. But I just don't, when it goes to the level of, crime, homicide.
Yeah, if you can't lose a fight without wanting to kill the person you just lost the fight to, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't know. We need to wrap. I gotta go.
Okay, well, you know what? It's been a pleasure.
We went so far over time, but
it's been a pleasure, and I just want to say, love, peace and love to the community and all the. I am really available, and use me. I mean, young people, come on over to high school for recording arts. If you don't have a school that's working for you, if you want to be somewhere where people really care about you and are, concerned with how life is going for you and want to give you, what we need to help you to be successful in your journey of life. Some of it, we can't do all of it. We're not the have all, be all, whatever. But I would love to be available to young people that are struggling with conventional situations at schools. They haven't been successful. There's a place for you, and I want to see you and just come up and let me give you a hug or whatever, and we can have a conversation.
Yeah, I've said it many times. If I would have known about it when I was going through my school struggles, I would have been there in a heartbeat. Didn't know it existed.
It's a great place. I want to shout out my brother T.C. Ellis. Thank you.
Shout out to TC
for this following through. A thought, you know what I mean? It all starts out with a thought.
Yeah.
The reality of something when it's sitting in front of you, there's been a lot of work.
He's also been instrumental in Live on Lake Street.
Yes. Well, I'm looking now. Do you see that check yourself thing up there on there? That would be Check Yourself Health and Wellness Center.
That's
yes.
Right.
Shout out Marquita, Emmett, Regina, my staff, all my staff, and everybody there that makes things happen. We got a family. We don't always get along, but we are a family.
Could you give the people the phone number and the address for the school?
The school is located at 1166 University Avenue. That's in St. Paul. And if your mom or somebody that's bringing you that's older, or your grandmother, tell them it's right across the street from the O.R. Nellis. And what's the phone number? Let me see. You asked me something. I don't know if I can. The direct number, my number is one thing, but let me see, HSRA. Tyrone is wonderful too. Let me see. What did you say? Is it 651-287? Okay. Did they hear you? No. Oh, how does this work? Oh, okay. So I need to say it. 651-287-0890.
Okay.
That is the number at the school.
And if they want to find you, do you want them to find you, or are you trying to?
Heck yeah, find me.
Okay, where can they find you?
Find me. I'm at 1166 University Avenue at High School for Recording Nights. But you can call me directly at 651-294-3023.
Perfect.
You can call me directly. And if I don't answer, leave a message. Be patient with me. Give me a chance to get back to you, because I will.
Perfect. Mama Shy, I appreciate your time. This was a great conversation.
Thank you.
We're going to do it again. We're going to check back in about 60 to 90 days and see see where things are at.
Let's do this.
Okay?
All right.
All right. I appreciate your time.
Peace
That's
and
it.
love.
Another episode
Check
of
yourself
Minnesota's.
before you wreck yourself.
That's right. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show live on Lake Street. I'm your host, Jake Faircloth, a.k.a. Podcast Poppy. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1. Follow us everywhere at Live on Lake Street. We out.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie, yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so cursed up, I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it, I ain't been to the booth in a minute. Niggas hate the fact that I'm winning. Who makes him the chief of the South Side? Oh my nigga, I'm not a lieutenant. When I was in the gym, you wasn't in it. FaceTime, so my windows is tinted. If I said that shit, then I meant it. Niggas gave me the rules and I bent it. Same nigga that was trapping while I was suspended. You wasn't in them hallways banging, boy, you wasn't in it. Really a genuine nigga, homie, don't get offended. From East Lake, South Murder, I'm just it ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't say. It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Southside Chief, homie. Now what you know, look, I'm Southside Chief, homie. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me?